So we're going to begin with Charles Batte, who is, in fact, a youthful entrepreneur, and in fact got his start at the age of 20 when he grew a small-scale farm to a business employing 50 people. And Charles leads Tree Adoption Uganda, which is an NGO that seeks to tackle deforestation and youth unemployment through landscape restoration activities like planting trees and agroforestry. So over to you, Charles.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, just to continue with what Melissa has just mentioned, our work is mainly focused on building communities where both people and nature flourish. And we are doing this using two programs. One is agroforestry centered, and our approach involves sitting down with individual household farmers and asking them to vision what they want their landscape to look like in years to come, how they think we can make it as resilient and continuously productive as possible. And one of the actions we've developed from this is the farmers have told us it is more helpful for us to plant trees along the boundaries of their gardens. Now that does two things. One, it protects their land from encroachers. Two, when the trees grow, provide protection for the crops being grown on the garden. But thirdly, it arouses self-motivation, an intrinsic motivation for the farmer to actually do conservation, to take on agroforestry. Which brings me to the issue of incentives. We feel, or we've learned, that this approach builds an intrinsic motivation and takes away the need to incentivize the farmer. The farmer understands that he has the ability to change his reality, to improve his livelihood, and so invests his time and energy in this reforestation activity. We finance this using corporate gifting models. So for each and every tree that we plant with the smallholder farmers, we've built an application, a mobile phone application, together with our partners at EcoMatcha, which is called TreeCapital. We take a picture of each tree that is planted, and the app records its GPS coordinates, the species name of the tree, and also the farmer who is planting this tree. And this information is provided to corporate companies who can convert each of these trees into a certificate. When you have loyal customers, you can give them these certificates as a way of rewarding them. For example, when you have participants at a conference like this one, you could send each of them a certificate of a tree to say, GLF planted a tree in your name in Uganda because you attended this conference. So it kind of perpetuates the conversation about restoration, conservation, etc., generates an income for the farmer, and also gives back to the environment. The other way we are doing this is through our TreeCapital program. So when most of commitments are made, say in Bonn, when we say 350 hectares of land are going to be restored, it's young people who get really excited because they want to go plant a tree, take a picture, tweet about it, Facebook about it. But then these young people do not actually have access to financing to carry on these activities. So in the households we are working with, Tree Adoption Uganda is asking individual households to identify a young person, maybe a 15-year-old, and the household will demarcate a piece of land, whatever piece they can afford. Tree Adoption Uganda supports them in planting commercial trees. And the idea is that at the end of 5 or 7 years, when these trees are harvested and sold, the young person earns an income, uses it as startup capital to set up something small for themselves. Tree Adoption Uganda takes a cut of 30% from this, and the young people in their households takes a cut of about 70%.